What happened to Pitt? I think that's a question a lot of college football fans were asking themselves at the end of last season. This has been one of the more consistent programs, really, in the ACC. I mean, you could even say in all of college football. No, they haven't been winning national championships or anything, but they're consistently a 7 or 8 win team at least pretty much every year. And again, last year was a disaster, and you look to 2024. There's not a whole lot of reason to be optimistic, honestly, about this Pittsburgh team. You look at the quarterbacks, they've got some options there, but no one that's really impressed me. You like the running back room. Rodney Hammond, really good running back. They brought in a good transfer as well. So that's maybe the strength of this team. Question marks at wide receiver, on the offensive line. I know they've made a change to the offense, new offensive coordinator, so we'll see how that plays out. But definitely question marks on offense. And then on defense, it's a rebuild there. They lost a ton of production. The safety position is strong, but other than that, again, a lot of question marks. You're really worried about their cornerbacks. It's going to be a defense that I think struggles, and this could be the worst team in the ACC this year, just being honest about it. Vegas, they've got the over-under at 5.5. Not too bad. It means they think they can get to a bowl game. The schedule is not horrible, but, it's still kind of tough. You got Cincinnati and West Virginia in the non-conference, 2 Power 4 opponents. And then in the ACC, they'll play North Carolina, they'll play Syracuse, SMU, Clemson, Louisville, but no Miami, no Florida State. So there is a path, I think, to get to a bowl game. I think they'll beat Kent State in the opener, so get off to a 1-0 start. This is a tough one up next, Cincinnati. I'm not high on Cincinnati at all. This potentially is a battle between the worst team in the Big 12 against the worst team in the ACC, potentially. I don't think Pitt is definitely the worst team in the ACC. Cincinnati probably is the worst team in the Big 12. But yeah, you look at these two teams, I think they're both going to struggle on defense. I think they'll be kind of finding their way on offense, but I think Cincinnati actually has a little bit more potential on that side of the ball. Plus, they're playing at home. This was a tough one for me, but I am actually going to go with Cincinnati. So going Bearcats here. Pitt drops to 1-1. They play West Virginia next. This is a West Virginia team. It's going to be pretty solid. I think they're really underrated coming into the season. I think this is potentially a top 25 team. And at the line of scrimmage, I think they dominate this game. And yeah, Pittsburgh, I think, struggles here. So West Virginia wins this one pretty easily. Drops Pitt to 1-2. Youngstown State next. So you get an easy win there. Should get them to 2-2 before ACC play. And they get a bye week before going on the road to face North Carolina. Tar Heels, I think, are going to be a pretty good football team this year. Talent-wise, I think they've got a big advantage over Pittsburgh. Plus, they're playing at home. So, yeah, I think North Carolina probably wins this game. I'm not going to say a blowout, but I'm not going to say super close. We'll say this will be maybe a 2-touchdown win for the Tar Heels. Then you get Cal, and we just talked about this on our California video about all the travel that they've got to go through before this game, going all the way across the country. I think that bodes well for Pittsburgh. I think Cal is going to have a good offense, but I think their defense is going to struggle. Pittsburgh, I think, can run the football, take advantage of that, and get a big win at home. So that gets them to 3-3. And then you look at the rest of the schedule here. You got Syracuse next. This one is going to be a tough one. I think Syracuse is going to be a little bit better. It's a winnable game for Pitt. If everything goes their way, this is a game that they can win. But I think Syracuse gets this one. SMU is going to be tough. This is going to be a really talented team. It's on the road. Don't really see Pitt winning this game. So going with SMU there. Virginia, another winnable game for Pitt. It's one that's going to be tough, though. I like Virginia. I think they're trending in the right direction. I think they'll be playing with a little bit of confidence. And I think Virginia gets the win here over at Pittsburgh. Then you got Clemson. Really, this game, probably not all that close. I know Pitt has upset Clemson in the past, but it's hard to predict that happening this year. I think Clemson wins pretty big. Then you got Louisville. Louisville's going to be a good team. Maybe not as good as last year, but still should be very solid. I think Louisville takes care of this one, wins pretty easily, drops Pitt to 3-8. Then you got Boston College, a team that I think is going to be pretty solid this year. I think they'll get better as the season goes along, and this one's on the road. I don't see Pitt winning this one either, so I got them at 3-9. Again, there is a path to a bowl game, though. I'm kind of in the worst case scenario here. Cincinnati could be a win. Syracuse maybe a win. Virginia maybe a win. And then you maybe throw Boston College in there. So if you win 3 out of those 4, yeah, Pitt could get to a bowl game. I just don't see it happening, and they even could lose to Cal. So 3-9, 4-8 is kind of where I'm at on this team. We're going 3-9 though. finishing at the bottom of the ACC. Would love to get your predictions on Pitt. Let me know what you think down in the comments below.